What's going on, guys? It's Straight Tech here, and today we have a very special video. Shout out to Supcase for sending these iPhone 13 dummies to me. So right here we have the 13 mini, the regular 13, the 13 Pro, and 13 Pro Max. Now with that being said, let's take these out of the boxes. So first we're gonna start with the iPhone 13 right here. So like I said, these are the dummies, so they're not functional, but they're exactly gonna be looking like. So this is the black one right here. This is how the 13 mini is going to look like. As you can see, it literally looks just like the iPhone. So that's how it's gonna look like. The cameras are gonna be diagonal like that. As you can see on the older model, the 12, they were vertical, so now they're gonna be diagonal. So I'm not sure why they're doing that. I do know that they are upgrading the camera photography, but I don't know if that's the reason why they're spreading them out diagonally like that now. So we're gonna have to wait and see when they come out and see what they confirm on that part. So this is the iPhone 13 mini. So just put that to the side. This one is going to be the iPhone 13 6.1 inch. This is the one that is similar to mine because I have the iPhone 12 non-pro model. Let me just take these out. So I'm just gonna put mine on the table here. So that's the 12 and that's gonna be the 13. As you can see, it actually looks a little thicker. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it looked a little thicker because I know they're gonna have bigger batteries on the new one. And as you can see, the camera there, it looks a lot more bigger than the 12. So if you can see it up close, hopefully you guys can get a good view of that. So the mic is gonna be on this corner, not on the top one. The flash is gonna be on top now, not in the middle. So there's a couple differences there. Same thing in the bottom. Same lightning cable that a lot of people don't agree on. Let's see on this side. Same thing. It seems like the SIM tray button is right here, so it's going to be a little bit higher. Now, from what I know is that the notch is going to be a little bit smaller, so it's going to be very hard to see, but you can see the camera right there with Face ID. It's going to be really hard to see it on camera, but from my point of view, I could kind of see it. And so yeah, it's gonna be kind of hard to kind of see where the notch is just because these phones are not functional. I cannot turn on the screen, but you could kind of see that it's a little bit smaller. Thank God. I'm not the biggest fan of the notch just because every other phone out there has already moved on from the notch. I know they had it going on for like maybe 2 years, but then they moved on to the single hole punch camera cutout on the front, which is not that bad. Or I know some phones that don't even have a cutout, they have the camera behind the screen. As you can see on the Z Fold 3 that just came out recently, that one has the camera right behind the screen. But other than that, if that doesn't bother you, it is going to be a little bit smaller. So let's put that to the side. Now for the 13 Pro. That camera bump is huge. It's not, oh my god. That is huge. As you can see, they're both basically the same size, and this camera bump is humongous. Oh my god. So I know they're gonna be upgrading their cameras on this year's camera system. I don't know how big of a jump it's gonna be from last year, but last year on the iPhone 12 Pro Max, it had the bigger camera system only on the Pro Max, but it seems like this year they're gonna be including it on the Pro and the Pro Max. But it just looks funny just because this phone is a lot smaller, and the Pro Max is probably gonna look a little bit better just because the phone is a lot bigger. But the fact is that this phone is very small. It looks hilarious. Now it looks like an actual stovetop. You could probably cook some eggs on that. Look at that. That is huge. Okay then, and I see like a little sensor right there. Might be the LiDAR scanner, I'm not sure. But this one does not have that. And this one does. So yeah, they look exactly the same. I'm gonna say no, actually the 13 Pro is gonna be thicker because I read that this year they're not gonna be able to share the same cases. So for the iPhone 12 and 12 Pro, they were exactly the same. It's just that the iPhone 12 Pro had another telephoto lens right here. Other than that, everything was the same. The dimensions were the same. I think the battery was the same as well. So if you bought a case for the 12, it was the same thing for the 12 Pro. But for this year, that's not the case. The 12 Pro, the 13 Pro is going to be different dimensions than the 13 Pro. And you can see here the camera bump is going to be way different. So like I said, this is the, let me see, I'm going to try it on this one. This is the iPhone 12 case, and it seems like it does kind of fit it. No, it does not fit, as you can see right there. Might be a little bit higher. I don't think it's the same thing. 12 case is not gonna fit on the iPhone 13 case. So put that to the side. So there goes the iPhone 13 Pro. Now for the big boy, iPhone 13 Pro Max. This is gonna be it. So as you can see on this one, it does look a lot more better than the 13 Pro. As you can see, it's a lot bigger. 6.7 inch, 6.1 inch, 6.1 inch, and 5.4 inch OLED displays. I know on the Pro variants, most likely you're going to be getting the 120 Hz Pro motion display. Finally, they already had it on their iPad Pros, but finally they're going to be putting it on their Pro iPhones lineup this year. So this is going to be the iPhone 13. It's going to look just like this. So it's kind of matte right here and glossy on the side. But this is how they're going to be looking like on the 14 when they announced this at 10 a.m. Eastern time. This is going to be it right here. And like I was saying earlier, as you can see, the camera bumps, they are huge this year. Now I think they're almost the same size as last year, if I'm not mistaken. They might be a little bit bigger. It's just like I said, on the big one it's going to be passable, but if you see somebody in the street with the new 13 Pro and you see this camera system, man, it looks hilarious. It looks like a little telescope on a phone. So hopefully with the bigger camera system, the telephoto lens is a lot better and closer to the Samsung likes of the world, because I know Samsung has really good telephoto lenses that you could zoom in up to 100 times. Not that it's practical, but at least you could zoom in 30 times and it looks decent. Whereas these, I think you can only zoom in like 10 times. Not the greatest, and the picture quality will literally crumble. It wouldn't be that great. So hopefully this year, with this bigger camera system, it looks a lot better. So like I was saying, on the 13 Pro models, you're going to be able to get 120 Hz on those models only, from what I've been reading. The regular 13 and 13 mini, they're going to stick to 60 Hz. Now in my opinion, I think it would have been better if this would have been 120 Hz and these could be at 90 Hz. Now at the end of the day, they're both going to be better than 60 Hz. Now this is mainly for the Apple fanboys out there. I know if you mistuck with Apple since the beginning of time, you do not know how 120 Hz or 90 Hz screens look like. Samsung has it, OnePlus has it, a bunch of other phone companies are already doing it. Like I said, Apple was one of the last ones to actually implement this on their Pro phones, or even just in general, if they would ever do it on all their models. But like I said, this year, that's going to be implemented only on the Pro models. So look out for that. So another thing with the iPhone 13 mini is that it didn't do amazing like the other iPhones did last year. So for the 12, 12 Pro, 12 Pro Max, the sales were great, whereas the 12 mini, it wasn't that great just because it was small. Now that being said, this one is not bad at all. The crazy thing is that this comes with the same chip as these three, okay, and it's a lot cheaper. Now you're not getting a telephoto lens like in these two. If you're not into that, there's no point of you getting this Pro models unless you want to get the 120 Hz display, little things like that. But like I said, if you love the camera system and the ultra wide on iPhones, which this one comes with, then you should just pick this one, and it's gonna be a lot cheaper. Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit smaller. People were complaining that the battery life wasn't so great on the 12 mini. I'm pretty sure with the 815 Bionic chip, the battery is gonna be a little bit better, and hopefully this year they do better in sales so they can bring it back, because like I said, there are people out there who love little phones like this. Me personally, I have the 12 right here. This is a 6.1 inch. Now it's not the biggest or the smallest. 6.1 is like right down smack the middle. This is a 5.4, okay? So when you put them next to each other, look how small it is. And it's amazing, you know, when you put it in your pocket, you don't really feel it that it's there. Another thing they're gonna be including is always on displays. Now, like I said, these are just rumors. Hopefully they do, because like I said, there are other phones out there and manufacturers that already have been including that in their phones for the past 3-4 years. Now I'm pretty sure they're gonna do a good job on that part, always on display. There are people out there that actually appreciate that, because you don't have to actually, turn on the phone or wake it up to see your notifications. You could just bring it up, and you're gonna see all your notifications right away, and then put it back down, and it's always gonna be there. Now AOD is always convenient, but like I said, it just depends on the person. They're also gonna be including video portrait mode on, I believe, all the iPhones. I don't see why they would only include it on the Pro models, but it seems like they're gonna include video portrait on all the iPhones. So basically, when you're recording somebody and when you're filming somebody, that background is gonna be blurred out. Now, when I had the OnePlus 8T, that one actually had portrait video. It wasn't the greatest, it wasn't the best, it was actually decent. So I have faith in Apple that they're probably going to be doing a great job on that part. Another thing is that they're going to have stronger magnets this year for MagSafe. I know I read and I seen in articles that people would be complaining because the wallet will fall out when you bring it out of your pocket. The MagSafe wouldn't stick on here because the magnets weren't strong enough. Little simple things like that that could be readjusted and improved on. And it seems like this year they did listen to the audience, and now they have improved the magnets on it. So like I said, I can't show you on this one, but when they do come out, I'm pretty sure they're going to be showing and telling you that the magnets are a lot stronger edition than last year's models. So if you're a person who likes to upgrade, or you're very curious on if you should upgrade to the new 13 models, then in my opinion, I don't think you have to be honest. That's just my opinion. They're basically gonna be doing the same thing as the 12 models, especially these two. Let's talk about these two. It's going to be basically the same thing, same camera system almost. It's going to be a little bit improved. I'm pretty sure it's going to have a little bit better battery life, just because they're going to make the batteries a little bit bigger. The notch is going to be a little bit smaller. It's still there, but it's going to be a little bit smaller, so if that bothers you, then maybe these are the phones for you. So these are going to come with the new 120 Hz LTPO panels. So with that being said, I suggest you take a look at it, and if you can't really notice 120 Hz, to be honest, there's no point of anybody upgrading to these. But that's your money. If you want to buy them, go ahead. Just know that these phones are going to be announced on the 14th of September, so in a few days from now. After that, I'm pretty sure they're going to be sold to the public, so around the 20th, maybe a week later after that, so around the 21st, these are going to be sold to the public. So make sure you guys like and subscribe to my channel. Take care, and I'll see you guys next time.